She didn't see your worth when you gave her everything, your loyalty, your time, your heart. You were there, fully present, fully real, but she treated you like a backup plan, like someone who would never walk away. And maybe for a while, she was right. You explained yourself, you tried harder, you stayed longer than you should have. But then something changed. You stopped begging, you stopped reacting. You stopped being the man she could push and pull at will. And that's when it hit her, your silence, your peace, your absence, the version of you she thought would always be around, he's gone, and the man who replaced him, he's untouchable, stoic, unapologetic, and free. This isn't about revenge. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to be seen to be valued. Watch closely, because this is the moment she realizes. She lost you for good. You're probably going to click off. And I wouldn't blame you if you did, because what I'm about to say, it's not loud, not dramatic, but it's going to sting deep, not because it's cruel, not because it's flashy, but because it's quiet. Personal, sharp like a whisper, something you've always felt deep down, but never had words for. It's that unspoken ache inside, the one that shows up quietly, when you're lying awake alone, thinking about what went wrong. Every man who's loved wrong, given too much, stayed too long, been too available, too kind, knows exactly what I mean. This isn't for every man, only for the ones who loved, the ones who waited patiently, who gave her everything inside and were still treated like nothing. Because here's the part that hurts: no matter what you gave, how much you showed up, how present you were daily, it still wasn't enough for her. She still didn't value you. She liked your loyalty, sure. She liked the comfort, the attention, but she never saw your worth. Not really, not deeply, not truly. And that's where everything changes, because something happens eventually. And it's not loud or dramatic. It's not a fight or argument. It's not you raising your voice. It's a quiet decision deep inside, a shift she doesn't see coming. The moment you stop begging, stop chasing, stop proving yourself, not to punish, not to hurt, but because you're done fighting to be seen, done asking to be chosen, done waiting to be enough. And that's what flips everything. That's when she finally notices. Not when you yell or plead, but when you go still, when you become unreachable, not blocked, not vanished, just emotionally untouchable. You're still kind, still respectful, but there's no more hunger there. No more spark in your eyes, not for her, not anymore. You become something new entirely, the man she can't access, even if she finally tries, not because you're angry, but because you've ascended, and now she's the one watching. You're not out for revenge, you're not playing mind games, you're stepping into power, not loud, flashy arrogance, but something strong, silent strength. It's the kind of power that echoes, not in words but presence. The kind that haunts softly because she knows she lost you, not by force but by neglect. It's when you stop explaining, stop trying to make her see. You used to spell it out, tried so hard to be clear, to help her understand your heart. She'd twist your words around, turn your care into weakness, make you feel wrong for feeling, even when all you gave was love. She made you doubt yourself. So one day you stopped talking. Not out of spite or rage, but because silence became truth, the kind of truth that stands firm, without needing to be defended. You don't chase understanding anymore. You don't correct her stories. You let her think what she wants. Because you know who you are, and that peace, that silence, cuts deeper. She throws her storms at you, guilt, confusion, emotional games. But you stand still. You don't move. You don't raise your voice anymore. You let her chaos pass right through. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not rude, you're real, and she feels it, deeply, fully. That loss of control stings hard, because she used to pull your strings, used to watch you react fast, used to see your emotions spill, Now you stare calmly, unfazed. Now you answer with stillness, and that stillness is everything. It's what makes her panic, because for once you're gone. Not physically, but spiritually gone. You've unplugged from the game, and now she's shouting into silence. And then you start doing something wild. You start choosing peace instead. You stop explaining yourself constantly. You stop overthinking every message. You stop waiting by your phone. You start making plans for you. You say things like, "I'm busy." You draw lines she never expected, and it shakes her foundation completely. Because her little gripet's breaking. She used to call, you'd run. She'd flake, you'd forgive quickly. She'd lash out, you'd comfort her. She trained you to serve her chaos, and you thought that was love. But now you crave quiet mornings, time at the gym, work that fulfills, laughs with people who see you. You start feeding your soul again, and suddenly she's not the center, and that kills her inside. Because she didn't think you'd grow, she didn't think you'd outgrow her. She thought you'd always orbit her, even when she dimmed your shine, but now you're walking with peace, sleeping better, speaking less, smiling more, with depth, with warmth, and she's no longer the reason why. She sees it in your face. She stalks your page in silence, replays your smile on loop, reads your captions like poems, and wonders, was I ever needed? Because she's no longer your light. Then the big one hits her. You stopped competing for her time. You're not waiting for her replies, not chasing her crumbs anymore. You're not trying to impress her, and she notices instantly because she felt your energy shift. She saw your pull disappear. You're no longer first to text, no longer watching her stories, no longer seeking her approval, and that absence, that stillness, it screams at her louder than love, because now she wonders who's got you, who you're smiling for these days. She won't say it aloud, but in her head it spirals. Who's he laughing with now? Who made him forget about me? Was I ever even special? And that's the twist. You're not doing it to hurt. You're not being petty or proud. You just stopped begging for effort. You raised your standard, finally. You stopped giving the world to someone who gave you silence. And that shift, it's powerful, because she's now measuring men against the one who walked away. And no one else compares, but it's too late, because you're long gone now and not looking over your shoulder. She had you at full strength and didn't value it. Now she can't even reach you. That, my brother, is the move. Not anger, not words, just withdrawal. Clean, calm, final. She starts playing the old games again. Late replies, vague messages, a few soft compliments, then silence again. You remember, you used to fall for it? Used to think it meant something. Now, you just smile politely. Let her play in her own mirror. You don't bite, don't chase. You're too focused on clarity now. You're not asking what's wrong, not decoding every emoji. You're done dancing around confusion, and she knows it instantly, because your reaction was her fuel. Your silence now, it starves her. She fed on your anxiety. Now all she gets is peace. That shakes her more than yelling, more than tears, more than begging, and she sits in it, that quiet space you left. It echoes like a memory, because you were once so available, and now you're air, untouchable, and the final blow, you start smiling without her. Genuinely, not to prove anything, but because your spirit healed, because life became lighter without her. You go out more, laugh freely, lift heavier, build deeper friendships, grow your career, and your joy starts showing. You post a photo, that unbothered, glowing energy, not forced, not flexed, just real peace radiating, and she sees it, all of it, and that smile, it guts her, because it's not for her anymore. It's not because she texted, not because she liked your story. You're smiling because you're free, and she wasn't the loss. she was the lesson, and now that you've learned it, you'll never go back again. That freedom is permanent. She remembers how you cared, how you showed up completely, and how she took it lightly. Now she can only remember because you're not coming back. That's what hurts her most. You stopped fighting to be seen, stopped shouting your worth out loud. You just stepped into it quietly and never looked back again. This is what power is. Not dominance, not cruelty, but silence, distance, peace. Let her feel your absence now, and let it echo louder than love. Comment silence if you've ever felt the moment your value doubled because you finally stopped trying. You walked away without drama and became everything she'll regret. You don't have to hate her. You don't need revenge or closure, because the closure was you waking up. The goodbye already happened the moment you stopped trying. You don't owe her a speech. You don't owe her one last talk. She'll feel your goodbye in the silence, in the peace she can't touch anymore, in the smile she no longer caused. Let her wonder, let her remember, let her replay the moments she thought you'd never walk away. Because now you're not angry, you're just done, and that kind of goodbye, the kind without noise or warning, that's the one they never forget. That's the one that lingers forever. So walk away, not to punish, but because you finally know your worth. And that kind of man, the one who says nothing but leaves fully, he's the one she'll miss the most. Silence, that's your goodbye, and that's your power.